Josh Allen and the Bills are going to miss the playoffs. Is that fact or fiction?
Fiction. Find someone else to take that take. It's too soon for me. Playoffs are still in 6 weeks away, and the Bills have time to get it right, and the schedule is doable. I'm going to say I'll ride with Josh Allen, Sean McDermott, and a team that's been there, done that in December in recent years. I'll go with the Bills on this.
I agree. It's the NFC where I think really good teams are going to get left out. The AFC right now feels like there'll be more spots. Neek, if someone said the Colts have a Daniel Jones problem, is that fact or fiction?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fact. Sorry, Jeff. It doesn't mean that they can't solve it, but we've yet to see him do the things that we expect of a quarterback of a championship caliber team. I'm sorry to upset my man Jeff, but
throw your head back, Jeff.
This machine works one way, and it's with a running-driven attack. And if a team shuts it down, like the Chiefs did, it gets real.
Well, you can't run it 3 times, Nick. You can't run it 3 times in the second half. Come on.
Finally, Lewis, if someone said Saquon Barkley is the problem with the Eagles' offense, is that fact or fiction?
That's fiction. I mean, come on. He's not the issue. Can he be better? Does he need to be more dynamic in space when he has one-on-one situations that we've seen already in a couple different clips earlier on this show? Yeah, he can be. But we know that this is a very dependent position. Okay, he needs space in which to run, and he needs frequency in terms of number of carries with which to kind of get going. This football team, I don't think Saquon's the problem. I think we can start looking at the passing game.
Well, we've been trying to figure out what the problem is, right? We have long been trying to figure it out. And so it was asked to Jalen Hurts, what is this offense lacking? And he really got into it. Listen to the answer.
We've just got to settle in an identity. I think that's more important. Settle in an identity, commit to it, and then we fine-tune those things, knowing that there's going to be some ups, there's going to be some downs, but we're all confident in what we're doing. We're all confident in the direction we're going in. The identity needs to be something everybody's in alignment in. So it's not a matter of how it looks. I don't care how it looks. I don't care who does it. I just like for it to get done.
So there was something interesting, an interesting point to be made in this. You say to yourself, he's been the quarterback a long time. The players have been there a long time. They just won the Super Bowl. How can they not know what their identity is? They change offensive coordinators literally every year. And so with that must come, I understand they're not going to make wholesale changes, but he's basically saying, we haven't figured out what our identity on offense is. So, Jeff Saturday, what should it be?
It's got to go through Saquon Barkley.
But they can't get it going.
Here's the situation. They have to understand and commit to how we're going to run the football. We're going to run the ball between the tackles more often. Saquon, you're going to put your foot in the ground. Go get the ugly 4 yards. Right now, it's not just Saquon. It's the offensive line's kind of pieces and parts. But a lot of it's because they're always looking for the home run, Greeny. I think they had so much success in those explosive runs last year. And when you look for the great and you forget about the good, you find yourself getting behind the chains. That's what's happening.
And the other thing that happens then, Neek, is that you wind up, okay, we're going to commit to the run, and now all of a sudden our wide receivers are posting cryptic messages on social media. Like, that also doesn't always seem to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it seems pretty clear. We've talked about this a little bit, how last year they were a little bit more creative offensively early on, and they were turning the ball over. And then they were fortunate enough to kind of not stumble into, but get explosive plays out of the running game. They didn't need to be all that creative. I think part of the problem is what they need to do, they don't necessarily believe that they're capable of. They need to get creative and find ways to create advantages with their offense, but they don't feel comfortable putting that load on that quarterback at this point, which is like, we have to be honest about what we're seeing. I think the running game is ineffective because the O-line is not as good as it was before. And when they designed plays for Jalen Hurts, they want him to attack the wide areas of the field. They don't want him to do any of the reading on the inside of the field. And I think that's part of the reason why they get beat. The defenses that come in understand what they have to stop. We're going to get A.J. Brown on a hitch, on a slant, and a go. We're going to get some 7 routes from Smith. And we're going to get a lot of running plays from Saquon Barkley. There's nothing else, and that's part of it. They seem so simple.
So, what does it all add up to?
I think, look, this team was built to be a dynamic run and play action type of football team, given what they have at quarterback in particular, right? I think that's what Jalen would really benefit from. A run, play action-centric type of passing attack. And I don't believe that he is someone who you just have to abandon throwing the football between the numbers. I think there's enough evidence that he can throw the football between the numbers. You don't have to become so predictable with the route concepts that you're utilizing on the outside, specifically with A.J. Brown. I think here's the other thing, too, though. This team sometimes, to me, strikes me as coming down a little bit with what Pat Riley calls the disease of me. Meaning, you know what? When they're winning, but maybe certain people aren't getting theirs, they're still pissed off.
Yeah.
If you're losing, but I'm getting mine, I'm good as long as I'm getting mine. They got to kind of get out of that. Sometimes they start to kind of drift into that realm, and they're too good for that. They're too good for that.
And to Lewis's point, I think it's all encompassing. So the X's and O's matter, the vacuum of the individual player matters. They have been 8-2 or better the last 3 seasons, and there is not a smile to be had in that building. It is a miserable place to play right now, with the local media treating it the way it is, with the fans being as critical, and with the product on the field just not being what it was. I will add this. Yesterday, the team radio partner put out a tweet and said, would you rather A, our team be bad on offense but we win, or B, our team be bad on offense and we finally fire Patullo? Those are the debates in local radio. That is not a media market like any other one, including New York with the Jets and all the stuff that we do here. I just think it's a really tough place to play, and it's just constantly vultures picking. You got to be mentally tough, and it's hard.
You saw the picks up on the screen. Everyone's got the Eagles. So what is it you do? You go Oppo.
Here we go.
You go Oppo. You go the other way.
Go Oppo,
100 out of 100 times. Okay, let me leave this here because the college stuff I have watched the faces of my football players when they hear about the quarterback with the alter ego. I don't want this to be like a piling on to the kid because obviously things are going very difficultly for him. But when things are going bad and you have an alter ego, go ahead, Jeff.
First of all, it drives me nuts. Like whoever allowed that stuff to get out and did the piece or whatever that nonsense, somebody should have directed him better. To BA's point, you haven't even earned the right to have an alter ego in the NFL yet, right? You got a college alter ego? Okay, let's leave it in college. Let's figure this out now that we're in the NFL. It's difficult for me to even stomach that kind of nonsense because BA was one of my coaches, right? And he would talk to you just like he just said that to McAfee. He would look at you and be like, shut up, man. Just go do this, right? Do the simple stuff really well. And that's the part that JJ's struggling with, man, is the simple stuff, the routes that he knows are there. His timing is off, and then he presses, and guess what? All the stuff that you did brings pressure on yourself because you did the alter ego piece or you do this silly branding stuff outside of just the game. Just let the game come to you, man.
Yeah, you said branding and marketing, it kind of falls to that category. To be honest, what matters most is what always matters is how you perform on the field.
Amen.
All the stuff that you do off the field, if you're performing on the field, it then becomes cool and quirky and
That's
cute.
right.
Mm-hmm. If you're not playing well on the field, we're going to make fun of you about it.
Crush you.
Who cares? Don't talk to no cameras. And that's what happens when you're in a situation like this. You need to buckle down and focus on what's important. You can worry about that. That's stage 3, stage 4
Amen.
stuff. Talking about alter egos and face paint and all this other stuff. That's later. Once you start getting some pelts on the wall, then you can go talk about that. Which, whatever you have to do to get your mind there, you got to do it. We've obviously been around players who transition in a different type, but then going to talk about it.
Seldom quarterbacks, though, right? I think he's talking about that.
But
too.
we as the media can't have it both ways. When he was at Michigan, he would sit under the goalpost and he would meditate, and there would be people in the NFL who would roll their eyes, but we said, we love this. We love that this is a new age quarterback who is at one with himself and has a mental health journey that he talks about openly, and that when he does the commercials for Aloe, when he does all the things pre-draft, that we celebrate. Well, it was all there at Michigan. He's not, that's just what he was. He's a different cat. He's a different kind of leader, and Harbaugh loved it. And we all said, gosh, we love him. He's a winner. He's a winner. And now that he's losing, suddenly it's, wait, I'm not comfortable with any of this.
Look, I think to Nick's point, when you're winning, it seems great, and when you're losing, it's easy to pile on.
Look, I think we have also all, going back to last year, when we think about Kevin O'Connell, when we think about Josh McCown, we would all arguably, or maybe all of us would agree unanimously here that there isn't a better head coach, quarterback coach combination that we would entrust a young quarterback's development to than those two guys. They will get him right. They just need to kind of rein him back in, because when you watch him play the game, JJ is kind of scrambling in his mind right now. He's not quite sure what to do. His feet are all over the place. His timing is off. He is airmailing passes that he can make in his sleep.
Yes,
That's the most concerning part, I think.
Exactly. It is.
He's having one of the worst seasons a quarterback has had.
You're right.
And he's doing it while having Justin Jefferson, Christian Darren.
You're right.
Team that won 14
games. It isn't about him. And we've all been down that road where we have felt things start to snowball and you start talking to yourself and all of a sudden you wind up making it worse.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like is happening with him. They're going to have to rein him back in.
It has taken a very difficult turn. All right, look, we have a lot of football coming up this morning. We still got to get back to the Eagles.